defensively, we were really good. We had a level of physicality on and off the ball. Our closeouts to contest were really, really good. They shot 29% for the game, and so there were plenty of offensive rebounds to get. And they only had 4 offensive rebounds for the game. And, they have some really good athletes, some pretty good size, guys that have a good nose for the ball, and our guys did a phenomenal job keeping them off the glass. But, I tell you, defensively, one of the things we've been talking about with our guys is to communicate. And their communication was off the charts. Every time down the floor something was happening defensively, I heard it from my seat, just the guys talking and trying to help one another on that end of the floor. Mitch was our defensive player of the game, by the way. But and then offensively, our pace was really good. Our spacing was there, and it allowed us to have make quick decisions with the basketball. And every time we made a quick decision with the ball, we got downhill, and we did a phenomenal job sharing the basketball. The one thing that I brought up to the group was the fact that our young guys played a lot of minutes tonight, and they practiced with Westchester earlier today, and so for them to come out here and play the right way, but play hard for 12 minutes or whatever it was in that fourth quarter was a lot of fun to see.
Mark, the three-point defense against Dallas wasn't there today. You guys kind of get a handle on the shooters. Just what did you see from that standpoint? Just the switch from last game to this one?
I thought our communication was off the charts, and so guys knew what their responsibility was on the backside because they were communicating. We had 5 guys on a string, so when the ball moved, we all moved, which put us in position to help on the closeouts. And then at the end of the day, our closeouts were on point. Great closeouts, great job closing to airspace, and then being the second jumper.
Like Jalen's not the court. There have been some soul searching the last couple of days. Just what have the last couple of days been like? Before culminating in a historic win.
The reality of it is, I've said this before. When you go through adversity, it starts with an individual looking in the mirror, starting with me. I have to look in the mirror. I have to see how I can help them, and we all do. And I think you'd have to ask him, but I think that's what he's saying at the end of the day. What can I do to help this team? Because we know we're better on both sides of the ball. We know we're better than whatever our record has said in the last month or so. And so what can I do to help this team win? And, it's what our standard is. You got to sacrifice. So sometimes you may not get the minutes you may hope for. You may not get the touches. You may not get the shots or whatever it may be, but you got to sacrifice to do whatever you can to help the team win. You got to be connected. As a leader, I got to find ways to uplift the group and connect the group. You got to be competitive. You got to keep thinking about, how can we get this win? What can I do to get this win? How hard can I play to get this win? And then you got to keep believing. You got to keep believing in each other and the process, and all the while everybody holding everybody accountable.
Mike, what does it say for you to see your team respond like this? I mean, it's a record-setting win. By the margin of victory, you beat the previous one by like 7. Of all time, and to respond big time after all this adversity. What was it like for you to watch that? After everything
I didn't know about the record really until it was mentioned here, but just seeing us play the way we're capable of playing, and again, I don't know what the score will be every night, but the things that we did out on the floor, we've talked about, we've drilled, we've watched film on, and our guys are more than capable, and so to go see them put it together for 48 minutes was a lot of fun.
Coach, what do you think of the year? You were talking about like 20 plus sprays like every night, and as the year's gone on, it's kind of become a little bit less frequent. Tonight, I don't know what your numbers were, but it did seem like you guys did a really good job being able to like get the paint and then kick out to the perimeter for threes. Like when you guys are on well in that aspect, what do you think you're doing well to create those when you get away from them? What do you feel like you guys are doing to improve?
Yeah, the first thing is the spacing has to be right in order for it to work, and our spacing was really good tonight. The next thing is you guys have to make quick decisions. So if that ball gets swung, Derek can't sit there and hold it, because if he does, then the defense settles, and now it's hard to get by the next guy. So those are the two biggest things in terms of how we can get sprays. The spacing has to be right, and then our decisions have to be quick. You can factor in pace, you can factor in ball reversals as well, but those first two are big ones for us to get to the paint.
Mike, how do you make sure that
And then the
this
last one is to play off 2 feet. Because you get to the paint, and if you jump and you play off 1 foot, now defense is too good. Now if a guy starts to go this way, you're in trouble, and that's where turnovers happen. So I apologize.
going to Philly in a couple days, how do you make sure that this win isn't an aberration and that you can build on it?
Well, we know it's not an aberration. I mean, we're sitting in either third or fourth place, and we hadn't played well, and we're still in a pretty good position with a lot of games left. Obviously we've had some struggles, and I will continue to say this. This may not be the last time we struggled during the year. I don't know, but what it does continue to show us is that if we play the right way, the things I mentioned, it doesn't matter who's in front of us, we'll be able to find ways to get wins, but it's about the process more than anything else. If your process is right and you embrace the process, good things will happen long term for you.
Coach, what are your thoughts about Cat and just the nature of the offensive fouls that he's been picking up? It seems like he keeps hooking on his drives. Is that something that you're seeing on film, and what could you do to help him?
No, Cat's a smart guy. He knows great players make adjustments, and he has, and he will continue to make adjustments to his game. We want him to continue to be aggressive, and if he feels that he's getting hit before, we hopefully the officials will do a better job of calling maybe the first foul instead of the second foul, which is a lot of times human nature. But great players make adjustments to their game. I'm sure Cat's going to figure it out. He got called for 2 tonight. He hadn't been called for any in a while, and so I think good things will happen with him going forward.
Last one here. Mike, Landry, 6-6 from downtown tonight. He was obviously shaking off some of the rust from his injury, but just we talk about pace and spacing, just how big of a role does Landry play in making sure everybody's set up right out there?
Again, we obviously missed him. We missed his pace, not just in the full court when he's running to get to one of the spots in transition, but also in the half court. I mean, you could see when he goes from point A to point B, it's with some force. And then when he catches, because of that movement that he does with force, and he makes quick decisions, he gets the paint, and the defense has to react because he's a better athlete than most people think. And he played point guard in college, so he does a great job of finding his teammates. He was a big answer, or one of the big answers to us making great passes or great sprays with our ball movement tonight.